Previously on Chosen Ones. Avayath and Shui train, while Theo and Brandy go to the library so Theo can do research. Theo looks up the strange red moon he saw in the sky weeks prior, learning that it is called the Freed Moon, and has ties to the goddess Winona. He also looks up more information on something known as the Pale Sickness, discovering it to be a disease pale tieflings had a few hundred years prior. Our sparks continue to train throughout the week, Shui eventually approaching Brandy to tell him he believes if he's not a good person now, that he can become one.
Break me down, we keep fracturing, so you'll forget your place and never find grace. Fly me away before the floods of pain, so we will lose our wings within the storm. Breathe me in, take what's left of me. I lose my mind to fate, I cannot disgrace. Heart beating heart, erase your belief. I will destroy what's left, no matter where. Keep with the tune, harmony, the shadow in this sea. Come to the page, the curtains rising soon.
Shui, when are you planning to do your concert?
This concert's going to be in the evening when the sun goes down.
Are you doing anything to prep for that?
He is, actually. So he, I assume like in the days, kind of beforehand, he's been working on getting like his costume together. Because he is going to dress differently. It's not going to be like anything like extravagant, but he's going to be out of like his normal clothing and into something else. He is going around to everyone and he's handing out these kind of lanterns, almost like paper lanterns, and like a piece of paper, right? He's like asking them to kind of write anything on like a little note and attach it to the lantern. It could be something they enjoyed or something they want to get better at or a wish for the future. Just something on that piece of paper, attaching it to the lantern. Obviously it's voluntary. It's not like he's requiring it, but he's got an idea. It's something they've done back in Moonfoam. And after that, I think he is going to the stage area, where like they do their announcements, like where they did in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be where he's going to perform on the stage.
Okay.
So he's kind of getting it set up, getting like lights set up.
Libris will actually come and assist you in moving the tables and things to create like a little dance area, I guess. She seems very excited also about this concert that you're putting on.
Aww. He's like, thank you for helping, Master Libris.
Of course, like I said, we don't really do just fun things around here.
I'm really excited. It's going to be great.
You have a lot of energy. I'm sure it will.
He laughs and accepts her help and anyone else who is helping.
I'll say Wynn also helps you for a little bit. He kind of seems to have snuck his way over, and while Libris's back is turned, moves some of the heavier things. And when she turns back around, you see her face fall when she sees him, and she goes and points, and he just sadly walks away.
Oh. Oh.
Avayath will also try to help, whether Shui asks or not.
You're his co-performer. I'm sorry, I was debating on whether or not I should have an interaction with Essence before the concert. Okay, sure, whatever, okay. I want to talk to Essence.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me to see if you can find her.
If I can find Essence, we'll see. 8.
8? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You use up a lot of your time trying to prepare for this concert, and you get a little too close to your start time and can't find her before you wanted to start.
Okay, that's fine. He's done preparing, and he's just kind of waiting for people to show up. He's already changed. I don't know if Avayath was going to change at all, but
no, he never takes off the armor.
That is fine. And yeah, so he's just waiting for people to show up now. He's kind of standing on the stage with Avayath, probably chattering and looking to see who shows up.
Where's Brandy?
Are you looking for him?
Yes.
You'd find Brandy off by himself, currently practicing his own lute that he was able to acquire while here. I had to ask.
Theo was like trying to look around, find him, and see if he would go. But now he just kind of wants to listen. See if Brandy's any good.
Probably not. Let's find out. Well, he has a good charisma, though, so we'll see. Haha, 7.
He seems out of practice.
Very much so. Seems like I know chords, but I'm very much like confused when trying to play certain things.
Theo will stand idly by in the distance and listen to that for a while, and then he'll kind of give like a preventing himself from laughing. He's not trying to laugh at Brandy. It's just like, that's cute. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes up to Brandy and he's like, hey.
Looks down at the lute a little embarrassed, and he looks up at you and is like, hey, partner.
Hi. Well, I was just looking for you to see if you're going to come for the concert, but seems like you're doing one of your own.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he, like, stands up.
But you are coming then?
Yeah, I was gonna come along, support. Should we put a lot of effort into it? It'd be rude if I didn't.
He nods quickly. Right, of course. Yeah, I have my fun little lantern ready and everything.
Oh, right. You wanted us to put, like, a wish or something in there?
Yeah. Was it supposed to hang on it, or is it what?
Yes.
Okay, so Theo already has his prepared. But yeah, he's like, yeah. Yeah, just, going to bring that to the little party. Not particularly familiar with the custom, but it's fun that he incorporated it.
Yeah, I can't say I am, either. What'd you wish for?
Oh god. Theo's face instantly turns red and he's like, oh, he looks away and he's like, well, I was just, I mean, it's, I just wanted to, become closer with you.
Instantly very embarrassed as well. Like, ears perk up and tail, like, swishes nervously, like, I mean, yeah, that's a good wish.
I didn't expect you to ask. But yeah, let's get going then, I guess.
Right, yeah. We'll follow Theo along.
I actually have one last thing Theo would ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was done to him. So as they're walking, he's like, you were going to wish for something too?
I'm thinking about it. I'm not, I had a few things rattling in my head that I'm not, don't know what to wish for. You only get one of them right, so.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I guess I didn't really ask the rule. What's one of yours?
He kind of like thinks for a bit. I don't know. One of them, I guess, is to get out of here. Maybe go and see the world and whatnot. That's on the back burner, but certainly something that I'm curious in, I guess. See how different everything is.
Have you not traveled much in this area?
Nah, I was pretty locked down to one spot before coming here, I think.
Theo has gears turning in his head as he kind of like looks around, like as if he's thinking, and he's like, right. Well, that's a good wish for adventure.
Yeah.
So you guys get back to the main area, and you see... I'm trying to decide. Let me think. Which of the NPCs So Draga for sure is there with Riddle. She seems to be riding on his shoulders.
They fucking dating OTP.
Oh my god. How do they work together? Like, I have to know. They seem like such opposites. How are they friends?
I don't know. You don't ever talk to Riddle, so...
What is their vibe they give? We see them around, they're always together.
It looks like Riddle is very humored by the things that she has to say. He finds her funny, it looks like.
Now, is that, like, condescending or nah?
He seems to be pretty patient with her.
Cassie, you can't do this to me. You can't.
What do you mean?
Not with the cat man and the weird rock lady. You can't make me ship it.
But yeah, he's just riding on her shoulder. You see occasionally she's taking out this little kind of tiny diamond that's in her hand and is just like showing it to him, and he's like nodding and being like, you should put that away. And she's just very interested in it while she's waiting for this performance to start. You see Titus kind of nearby, sitting at one of the tables that have been pushed off to the side. You see Wynn and Libris there. Peter's also there, kind of standing a little bit farther back. You also see, I can't remember if you saw her, but you do see an Asmer come out of the cooking tent, followed by kind of like a very burly looking bugbear man come out a little bit behind her and point off, and she nods and seems very excited as she runs off over towards Wynn's table, and he kind of goes back inside the tent. And you haven't seen him before. That's the first time you've seen him.
Shit.
He appears to be wearing an apron and have a spatula that he was gesturing with. You can assume based on that he's probably also one of the cooks.
Love that. I can't wait to meet him.
And she kind of runs off towards Wynn's table very excitedly. There's like a little flames kind of going behind her as she runs, coming off of her head. You also see... Who else would be there? There's not many left, I know, but I'm trying to just... I'm gonna roll. We're gonna roll to see. We're gonna roll to see if the problem children come. So give me a sec here.
Peter better come.
Peter's
here, right?
there. He's standing a little farther back.
I must have missed it, but...
He's standing a little farther back from Wynn and Libris' table.
Okay, good. Because if that bitch did not come to this, I would have been upset.
Estel kind of drags her feet, but eventually does show up way after pretty much everyone else is. Like, Shui's like about to start, and then she's like suddenly there.
She's about to grind on Peter.
Oh my god!
But, like, is it out of character?
Throw that ass in a circle, Estel.
Am I wrong? Are you gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
She does go up to Peter and like put a hand on his shoulder and give him like a small smile, and he doesn't look super appreciative of that actually, and kind of shoves her off, and she looks kind of upset by that, but looks towards the stage instead. And then...
You're a booty call, Estel. Come on now.
You can't win them all.
Arthur does not show up.
What a bitch. Fuck Arthur. God,
I am
hate
wounded.
him. Kill Arthur.
I'm rolling for the ones that are less likely to come. Essence also does not show up.
That's not surprising at all.
That's kind of sad. Avayath promised Shui that Essence would show up.
Way to go, Avayath.
I mean, you can, if you want to try and seek her out, you can, Avayath. Shui rolled, but you didn't.
Yeah.
The gears turning in Jay's head, yeah.
Avayath promised Shui that Essence would come, but Jay doesn't want to interact with Essence.
I don't have anything.
That's me, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, move.
Okay, investigation, I guess. Here we go. 17.
Jay's just like, damn it.
So you kind of like, it looks like Shui's kind of looking around to see that this is probably everyone that's going to come, but you stop him and be like, no, hold on, like, we're missing someone, and you go off to try and find Essence, and you look everywhere very fast because this concert was about to start, but you look everywhere.
He's like running around stomping all over the place. The ground is shaking.
Essence! You can't hide from me!
You bitch! I promised him you'd come!
Essence comes out of hiding because she thinks there's an earthquake.
And eventually you find up in one of the watchtowers from kind of a distance, you see Essence and Arthur currently appear to be talking to each other, looking out over the wall.
Essence, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
You see her look down from the watchtower, and Arthur also kind of turns around a little bit surprised to see someone over in this area, because it's kind of off to the side. It's not really a place she's gone before. And she looks down at you and raises an eyebrow, and she's like, "You were looking for me?"
Yes, I think you should come to Shui and I's little performance. We were hoping you would come.
She kind of puts a hand on her hip and tosses her hair over her shoulder and is like, "Why would I come to that?"
Because we all want to have fun with each other. It would be sad if someone were missing.
She glances over at Arthur and she's like, "We're kind of having a meeting right now, if you couldn't tell."
Oh, I see.
And Arthur puts up his hands like, "I am not a part of this."
Avayath is too dumb. I'm sorry for interrupting your meeting.
No, you're okay. We were just a meeting, if that's what you want to call it. Looks to Essence and she's just like shrugs, and he's just like, "Intervention would be the term I would use." And then she frowns deeply at that and kind of huffs and starts to make her way down the ladder. "I'm just gonna go back to my
We
cabin.
would love for you to join us.
We have an assessment tomorrow."
Yeah, but it's also important to get along and get to know each other.
Roll a persuasion check.
I think I also want to just have him add, it's important for a chosen one to be strong, but it's also important for a chosen one for people to have faith in the chosen one, for people to trust them so that they can work together. And yeah, he rolls a 6. Oops.
You did it best.
She gives kind of like a tight smile at that, and she's just like, "No," and starts to walk away from you.
Me too. No.
This is where you use force and you drag her by her halo.
Arthur kind of makes his way down a little bit and looks between the two of you as she's starting to walk off, scratches the back of his head, and he's just like, "She is a angry one."
It's the people who have the most reactions to things that often need the most help. Shui and I were hoping to help her, but
She's on a bit of a tight watch right now. The other mentors have been telling me some interesting things about her training. She might not stay here for long if that keeps up.
oh, Avayath looks really disappointed. And he's like, "But what if she turns out to be the chosen one?"
That is a possibility, but this isn't a dictatorship. This is a democracy between me and the mentors. If they all decide that they don't want her to stay, that is up to them. I just run the program. I'm not a teacher.
I see. Well, I understand. It's not your obligation to raise her.
I can present an option to you. She knows she's on a little bit of a tight watch right now. How badly do you want her to come to your show?
I made a promise to Shui. It's not a life or death situation, but it would be great.
She's not going to like me for it, but I can order her to go. She's on probation.
I don't think that would lift her spirits. She has to come of her own free will.
He nods a bit at that. I do think it would be better if she could make a friend. No, that's hard. I'm not going to force anyone to talk to her. Because let me tell you, the conversation we just had was not pleasant.
I think she can make a friend. I'm hopeful. I'll try later, but I've got a performance to go to now.
Yeah, you go on ahead.
Thank you, Arthur, for your assistance. Gotta go. Bye-bye.
Wasn't meant to be. Essence not coming. You make your way back up onto the stage, empty-handed.
As if he was going to carry Essence there.
No, this is the halo, don't you remember?
By the halo, yeah.
He might have, yeah, but Essence is too fast.
Shui kind of looks a little bit saddened by that, but he quickly gets over that because he's got a performance to do. And so he's going to open with a little speech. Bear with me. So everyone's present, everybody's kind of settled in.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to, once Avayath gets back and kind of gets into position, she just really loudly to kind of get everyone's attention. Thank you all for coming to my performance. When I was first told about this place, I didn't really know what to expect, but that only made me even more excited to participate. And then he pauses, realizing he got it right the first time. He continues. as if he didn't fuck up. He's like, I've had so much fun and learned so much training with you guys and with our mentors too. So I want to thank you all for everything. Please enjoy the show, he says, and he does like a little bow, and he waves his hand, and the lights that were like surrounding, like illuminating the stage, kind of go out as he's casting like prestidigitation to turn off the lights. You guys see like a glittery kind of like dust falling from the sky, like above the stage. It's really sparkling, and it's raining down like starlight, and that happens for a little bit before it converges into 4 different figures that look similar to Shui in terms of like build, but they're wearing masks that appear to have taken inspiration from the legendary dragons, and they all look to be holding instruments. There's silence for a moment as the effects of Shui's major image, that's what he's using, settle into place, bringing color to the stage. And he casts prestidigitation again, kind of turns on the lights one by one slowly until everything, like the mood is set. And then he'll take his sword, and he's signaling for Avayath to do the same.
He does the same.
He raises his sword up high. He's like, here we go. And he's smiling like really widely, and he's going to like cross swords with Avayath, and that's when the music will begin. So the figures he conjured, they're playing the instruments. So basically, the performance, I would say, consists of Shui flowing gracefully through various sword stances in time with the music, as a mock battle between Shui and Avayath takes place on the stage. And it's looking more like, I would say it looks more like dancing almost than fighting, like actual fighting, you know what I mean? I guess I'll roll performance to see how Shui does. Oh my god, that is so fucking wild.
Did you get a nat 20?
I got a nat 20! That's so crazy.
I was gonna let you roll with
God.
advantage because you had assistance, but you don't fucking need it.
Avayath needs it.
Yeah, let's see Avayath's performance. 22.
Oh my god. We're fucking doing
Wow.
it.
You guys are like, we've been practicing all week, really? I mean it.
Theo will literally do the whole what I did of just wow from the audience. I'm like, very awestruck.
And so I would say with this major image, there's just kind of like minor visual kind of effects going off, like, you know, little sparks and whatnot. About halfway through the performance, Shui signals to Avayath something they've rehearsed in the past. Shui kind of backs away from Avayath. He starts spinning on one heel, doing like a little twirl before kicking off as he begins dashing towards Avayath. He wants Avayath to kind of launch him to the air.
Oh no.
Alright, let's see how disastrous this is.
I just want you to roll a strength for that.
Just strength. 9.
You go a little bit up. It's not super high. He doesn't drop you. It's kind of like giving a toddler a little boost. Is what
He's afraid of messing the routine up so badly that he doesn't want to throw him too high.
Shui is going to try to bounce off of him. Like, he gets tossed up a little bit and he wants to kick up the rest of the way. like bounce off his shoulder or something.
You can roll acrobatics for that.
Thank God. That's really high. 19 plus 9, 28.
Okay, yeah, that is fucking really high. It doesn't even look like Avayath messed up. It looked like that was perfectly planned. Everyone in the audience, no one knows that was a mistake.
Really good. Launching into the air, Shui performs a couple of flips before sweeping his sword out towards the audience, and pieces of his major image of the illusion, they begin to kind of break off from the musicians. They begin to flow outwards towards the audience. And so until there are like floating orbs lighting the sky in front of him. And he's like, go! He shouts. He signaled for the audience to release their lanterns into the sky.
Theo's so excited. Honestly, he's brought to tears by this performance.
Yeah, you see a lot of people back in the audience start to release their lanterns. Should we roll a perception check for me?
Okay. 20, not natural 20.
You see very far off, kind of back near where the cabins are, a lantern going up.
Oh my god! That's so cute! He smiles brighter, and then as he's kind of like falling back to the ground, he's going to do a little roll and then kind of bounce up and says, "Yeah!" And he signals for the floating orbs from his major image to kind of float up as well with everyone's lanterns. As the music kind of reaches like its climax, the end, he is going to run back and pick up his own lantern, and Shui's gonna light his own lantern and also release it.
And so will Yaya himself.
Yeah. And so as the music fades away and the major image ceases, the lights, they dim a little bit. I want to say like as his major image is like going away, as he's like dispelling it, they kind of like break into sparkles like the way they came in. And that will be the end.
You see sparks coming from a little farther back in the audience that you recognize as Draga just pounding the two fucking stones together.
And she lights the decoration on fire and then fucking everything burns to the ground. Christmas is ruined.
Theo's crying a little.
So two things. First, Avayath's wish was to become closer to God.
Of course it was. Of course
He whispers
it was.
as he throws it up. Claytor.
Claytor, love me.
Love you, Claytor.
This one's for you, baby.
Yeah, and second of all, when the performance is over, he's like, "Everyone give a round of applause to Shui for arranging this wonderful event."
Yay! Shui bows, like a performer would, not like how he traditionally would. And he's kind of waving to everyone, smiling brightly. He's looking out at the audience. What's Peter doing?
Peter is kind of standing next to Estel, who seems to every now and again be trying to start conversation with him, and he'll like put up a hand to get her to shut up.
Jesus, fucking piece of shit. Why are you like this, Peter? Just fucking have fun with your girlfriend, God.
Yeah, and she just still looks kind of like upset by that, and eventually gets up and goes over to Wynn, who seems to be having a great fucking time with this Asmer. They've been like dancing and half paying attention to your performance. And she whispers something to him, and he frowns because he's clearly enjoying himself and sighs and goes over. Looks incredibly awkward as he puts a hand on Peter's shoulder, and Peter seems to like blink a little bit and look over to him. And Wynn just gives him like a little tap on the shoulders and seems to say something to him, and then goes back over to the Asmer. And Estel comes over and smiles at Peter, and he seems apologetic and holds her hand.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's exactly what I fucking thought it was. I fucking see you, bitch.
Shui is trying to catch Peter's eye.
He seems distracted now, seems like he's talking very rapidly to Estel, and she's nodding and like laughing it off or whatever. But he eventually seems to look over towards the stage and blinks and looks over at you and kind of gives you a tiny nod.
She waves at him, like really excitedly, and smiles even brighter. Thank you all for coming. And to his peers, he's like, "Let's do our best on the finals tomorrow."
Yay!
And then concert's over.
And now it's over.
Like basically.
Shui drops his instrument. It's like, go home. We're done. Bye.
Theo did a lot of swaying in the concert because of the nice music, and he cried a little.
Adorable.
How did Brandy like it?
He vibed along with it. Did practically the same thing Theo did, except for the crying part. But he seemed to enjoy it and let his own little lantern go.
Aww.
Theo cried because he's so proud of Shui. He's like, oh, it was so good.
Libris, during the performance, wandered away from her table and went over to Titus, who was sitting by himself, and talked to him for a bit. And the two got up, and she seemed very into dancing, and he was doing like that awkward, like just kind of slowly moving his shoulders, like he didn't really want to, but she seemed to have talked him into trying to dance.
That's really good. After the performance, I want to say Shui, got off the stage and whatnot and started eating with everyone else.
We'll say that this performance has settled down and finished, and you guys are all heading back to your cabins for the day. It is just at the cuff of the curfew. It does get a little bit dark before 10 p.m., so it wasn't like bright out. But the sun is, there's pretty much almost no light left around, I would say, about by 10 p.m. And that you guys just have like 5 or 6 minutes before it's at that point. So Estel just is kind of like, come on everyone, curfew's in place.
Nice. Okay. Theo would catch up with Shui, and he'd wipe a little tear from his eye and just be like, that was so beautiful, Shui. You and Avayath worked so hard.
He smiles and he's like, thanks, Theo. I'm really, really glad you liked it.
It was so good.
He smiles and he's like, I just wanted to thank everyone for taking care of me.
Well, it was quite a thank you. I don't think anyone would be able to live up to thank you like that.
He smiles. Brandy, are you around?
I am. Hi.
Okay. So kind of turns to Brandy. His eyes kind of twinkle. Did you enjoy it, Brandy?
Yeah, y'all worked real hard on that. It really shows. Shows you got a lot of passion for it. Good job, bud.
Yeah, he feels happy. I like to imagine Brandy was looking at Chewie the whole time and trying to ignore Avayath. I pretend I do not see it.
God.
No.
So, Chewie, is it okay to ask what you wish for?
He kind of looks up towards the sky. I mean, the lanterns are probably all gone now because they're designed to kind of burn once they reach like their highest point.
I wished for no more littering.
My wish was to grow stronger with everyone.
It's a lovely wish, Shui.
I'm really lucky to have come here and met you guys. I never had many friends before this, so he kind of looks at the three of them. I'm assuming Avayath is around, question mark?
I assumed he wasn't, but sure, he's here now. He just walked in.
Okay.
What's up, boys?
I heard someone thinking about me.
He's bowing to them kind of deeply in respect.
You don't have to bow like that, Shui. We're all lucky to have met each other.
Oh, we sound like anime boys.
You
No,
do.
I'm kidding.
And I'll say at that, you guys settle down after talking a bit more and go to sleep, ready to start your assessments tomorrow. So the morning comes again.
I'm so fucking okay. Sorry, can I get my stress out? I'm so scared of
I'm
Estel's
excited.
the finals period. Okay, except Libris, but I'm so scared. Okay, let's go. Sorry.
Okay. The morning comes. You guys are woken up by a knock on your door. It's been, 5 or 6 days since someone's done this. And you open up to see Win on the other side, giving you all a bright smile. And he's just like, all right, so today is the start of finals. Well, today's assessment day, tomorrow's finals. So why don't you all come on out and follow me to the main stage?
Got it. Theo gets out of bed and gets ready.
It's hard to breathe. But Shui's excited. Shui's really excited. He's not like nervous, but I'm nervous.
Zen, what you said is what Theo's like inside.
I can't breathe.
Avayath is the complete opposite.
Avayath in the background. Let me just put on my armor.
Avayath already has the armor on. He's like, I can't wait.
I'm so glad that this character development is that he's learned to put on his armor before people wake him up.
The most important character development of all.
Exactly. That's what he needed to learn to be the chosen one.
And that's it. He's it now. We're just waiting for it to be announced. All right, so you all make your way to the main stage where Wynn kind of gives you all a salute and he's like, all right, Arthur should be on a bit. See you guys. And he leaves and exits. And sure enough, eventually, Wynn has gathered all of the other sparks here for today's assessment, and you're all kind of lined up in front of the stage. Takes a couple extra moments before Arthur kind of appears on the side, coming up very quickly, almost tripping up the steps, holding a clipboard in hand, looking nervous and adjusting his glasses. And he looks down at you all and says, "We'll be finishing off your training with a quick general assessment with me, and then tomorrow, as you've all been informed, will be your finals. So, let me just get this set up." He takes out a piece of chalk from behind his ear and starts drawing on the wood of the stage. It takes him a few moments before he finishes and stands up, looking very pleased with himself down at his work. And he's like, "All right, the circle to my office is complete. Miss Draga, why don't we start with you?" And Draga gets up, very excited, scurries up onto the stage, and is just like, "Is this a teleportation circle? I've never used a teleportation before." And she's like leaning down and looks like she's about to like touch it, and he's like, no, and like grabs her hand and is like, "Don't disrupt the circle. We won't be able to use it then." And she's like, oh, okay. And he chuckles, and he's like, "I'm inspired by your curiosity, but let's move quickly, yes? And don't spoil the surprise for the others when you see it." And he winks at her and holds a hand to his lips, and she's like vibrating with excitement next to him. And he's like, "Okay, let's go." And they both step onto the teleportation circle and disappear. You guys wait there for a while.
This is where we do the recap episode.
They're like, remember when we all first met each other? What were y'all doing before this?
And she was like, "Well, I was training with my sword." And then you go back to that scene of Avayath was like,
I was hanging out with my good friend Rue, and we...
No? Okay.
Remember that performance? Yeah, that was like yesterday.
"Yeah, isn't it amazing?"
Remember when I put on my armor this morning? Flashback. No. Remember when Wynn woke us? Okay, no, sorry.
Remember when Draga got dragged into the teleportation circle? And...
Oh my god. So a few more minutes pass by, I'd say about 10 to 15, before they both kind of suddenly come back in as the light, this very bright white light comes back out of the circle and the two appear. And Draga looks extremely excited and is just bouncing up and down and grabbing Arthur's sleeve and is like, "Do I get to go back again? How did you do that?" And Arthur's just kind of looking down at her and smiling. He's just like, no, remember, I have to assess the others as well." And he looks back towards your group and is just like, "Okay, let's go with Mr. Titus Xenovoth next. Why don't you come up?" And Titus very warily gets up onto the stage, and Arthur gives him like a slight pat on the back for reassurance, and it's just like, "Teleportation really isn't that scary if you haven't done it before." And Titus shakes his head. He's like, "No, just not a fan of individual assessments." And Arthur's just like, "You'll do absolutely fine. It's just like a little interview." And the two vanish.
She looks jealous.
Remember when we first came here and...
About, again, another 10 to 15 minutes pass, and Titus and Arthur return. Titus looking very thoughtful, but there's worry lines on his face too as he's coming down off the stage. They both don't speak at all. Arthur's just kind of giving him a tight smile as he goes off the stage, and Arthur looks out towards the group again and is like, "Miss Essence Pale Gold, you're up." And my voice cracked, but that's fine.
And Arthur's personality for his voice to crack.
So Essence gets up, looking also kind of wary as she approaches the circle and is looking at it and is just like, "You're not gonna send me to another god realm or something, are you?" And he pauses for a moment before shaking his head no, and he's like, "I put my faith more in the advancement of society. You'll see." And she kind of looks at him curiously at that before stepping onto the circle, and the two of them vanish.
"I frequent r/atheism, actually."
We live in a society.
Bottom text. No.
Bottom text.
So theirs takes actually quite a while. About a half hour passes before eventually they both come back. You're all kind of shifting and looking at each other what that took. That's taking twice as long as the other people.
Of course it is. It's Essence, so.
She's like, "Remember when we fought Erm and Erm and
Oh my
Erm and
God.
Erm and Erm?"
I do like to imagine that this whole time they're just talking about like previous things that they've done during their training. Like they're like, well, we gotta make conversation, I guess. Like
and no.
Remember when you showed up at my barn and you had no memory
and everyone's like, what fucking what? Excuse me.
Hold on, rewind?
And you're all beat up and bloody.
Yeah, recap the recap, please.
It's like, hold on, wait a second. We didn't hear that part.
Anyway, wow, we got off topic. Okay, so so after about 30 minutes, they appear, and Arthur this time looks to be the one who's very excited, while Essence looks like a mixture of confused and kind of relieved. And he grabs her hands and is like shaking them enthusiastically. And it's like, thank you. I have not had a meeting like that in decades. I should have known with the whole Toot Spark controversy. I do hope you'll accept my apologies for the way you've been treated. I'll inform the mentors immediately. And she kind of holds up a hand to that and is like, no, don't. And he nods even more vigorously and is like, yes, of course. Well, thank you again. I do think I impressed you. And if none of them pick you, I will be more than happy to continue these meetings for the sake of science. And she kind of pulls her hands away from him, making a face, and is just like, you're really weird.
I don't like this. Hey, Arthur, why are you a fucking freak?
He smiles at her broadly and is just like, I'll take that as a compliment coming from you. And she finally smiles back at him and fluffs her hair a bit as she exits the stage. And Arthur kind of looks out, adjusts his scarf a little bit, and is like, okay, well, I'm sorry for the delay, everyone. Mr. Hushed Riddle, you're next. That's his full name.
I understand, but the Mr. got me for some reason. Mr. Hush Riddle. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so Riddle jumps up onto the stage looking just as curious as Draga, but kind of more reserved as he looks over the circle. And he's just like, let's go then, shall we? And Arthur's like, eager, I see. Well, I am too. And he snaps his finger and they vanish.
Do you remember when Avayath went out and killed the Abergrim? Wasn't that crazy? Tell us about that again.
I thought he just scared it off.
Whoa.
Anyway, so theirs only takes about 5 minutes before they come back, and they return. Riddle seems to be just as in awe and as Draga was, and it's just like, what was all that? Did you have any of that to spare? And Arthur laughs and shakes his head no, and it's just like, you're free to visit anytime, Riddle. And Riddle nods before exiting the stage and going back to the others, the four who have gone, all kind of standing near each other and like exchanging like excited whispers. Even Essence.
Chewy's vibrating. He's excited. He's like, me next. You can see his aura.
He looks out over the group and is just like, Mr. Avayath Abaddon, why don't you go next?
Chewy's like, ah!
I imagine Shui like had his arm raised like a student.
Yeah. He deflates.
Avayath pats him on the head and is like, you'll be next, don't worry.
He's gonna go last.
No, he'll be next because that's poetic with how we were introduced with everyone.
Oh. Damn, Shanna, your brain.
He marches on and...
Yeah, so you go up and he smiles at you and is just like, all right, here we go. And he snaps his fingers and the two of you vanish.
I'm here crying out for you, so you'll find me at last and wipe away our past. Even now, falling towards something beyond this new script. The show starts with us.